Welcome back to another Motel Coach training video. Today, we're going to be diving into rate parity, what it is, and why it can cost your motel a lot of money. Rate parity, simply put, means that your rates are the same across all of the channels that you distribute your rates to. So Booking.com, Expedia, the GDS, and your direct booking website. Think about it from an OTA like Booking.com's perspective. If they're selling your rooms on their channel and you've got the same room listed on your website for less, the guest, if they visit Booking.com and price match on your website, they're likely to book on your website because it's cheaper. Booking.com pays a lot of money to get guests to their website. They want an equal playing field to try and get as many bookings for their own website so that they can earn commission. Now, you might be thinking, this is all well and good, very interesting. Why do I care what Booking.com thinks? They're a monstrous company that generates a massive amount of profitability. I just want what's best for my motel. Now, easy to think like that, but the problem is that Booking.com, Expedia, and the GDS will not promote your motel actively if you don't keep rate parity. I'll repeat that again. If you don't have the same rate on each of the channels, Booking.com will not promote. They'll put you lower in the rankings within your area. So if your motel is in Sydney and you're normally going to rank around 100 out of all of the hotels and motels in the Sydney area, because you've put a cheaper price on your website, Booking.com says, look, we're going to put you at number 500 because we think there's a lot of other better options which are going to generate us more profitability than your motel. There is a few small caveats with the rate parity clause on Booking.com, Expedia, and with the GDS. The first one is offline rates. So rates organized via telephone are not relevant. It has to be a listed rate or a distributed rate on one of your channels. So you can have member rates that are only available via calling your property. That's not going to affect your rate parity. Number 2, if a rate is behind a membership gateway, so a member, in order to get a reduced rate, needs to become a member of Booking.com or Expedia or your personal website, that rate is not part of the rate parity equation. So if you look at Booking.com, they've got the Genius membership program. So if you have Genius enabled on Booking.com, Booking.com has the power to put their rate below your website rate by 10% as the default discount. And that's not going to affect rate parity because it's a membership offer. Why this is important is because we want to put a membership option on your direct booking engine so that you can actually price the cheapest out of Booking.com, Expedia, and any other online rates like the GDS. Now, you might be thinking, it all sounds a bit too complicated for me. It doesn't have to be. It can literally be an email newsletter that can be your whole membership program. So with GuestPoint's promotion feature, you can click Management, you can click Setup, Standard Rates, Extras and Promotions. If you create a promotion, new promotion, you create a code, and you also When you complete that code, we'll create a link which will give discounts automatically if a member goes to your website through that link. These promotion codes and links are not publicly listed rates. So when someone signs up to your email newsletter, you send them off this GuestPoint promotion code, and also I would recommend the GuestPoint promotion code link. So let's go ahead and do one. So let's say membership rate is the one. We don't want to limit this, so we could make it 9,000. We're going to select all room types. We're going to click percentage off. We're going to make it 10% off. Dynamic rates is the rate that you're currently selling at the time the guest books. So if revenue maximizer is affecting your rate, it's reducing or increasing, it will automatically jump on top or below the rate. Minimum number of nights. In this instance, we're not going to set one. You could always be more aggressive with your membership rate as well. You could say, look, I'm not willing to give 10% off to members for one night stay. I'd give 5% or 7%, but if they're willing to stay 2 nights, I'm happy to make it 10% or even more. We're going to save this one down. We've got the member code here. And if we click copy link, we can then go to the top of the page and we'll paste that link. So on GuestPoint itself, it's taken me a couple of minutes to set up the promotion code. Depending on what website setup you have, you're looking at about 15 to 30 minutes if you've got some basic capabilities, or for your website developer to set up the email newsletter for you. So I'll revisit the setup. So it's just an email newsletter form. So people submit their email, they receive your GuestPoint promotion code, which is your member rate, and also the member link. I would set up the link so that it's active for a certain period, say 12 months. And you can also have terms with your members. So when you send out this promotion link, you say, this is our member link. It's currently available until this date. We do reserve the right to remove it during peak periods or at our discretion. How you set up the specifics is really going to be dependent on your own motel, the demand you've got in the area, and the supply of your rooms. Having rate parity can really increase or decrease your revenue. It's certainly worth considering putting in a membership promotional rate. It means that you'll maximize your direct bookings, but you're not going to damage your rate parity. Booking.com and Expedia provide so much exposure for independent motels. You want to do everything you can with these existing channels to maximize your bookings and exposure. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to subscribe down the bottom. If you're looking to get into motel management or you want to level up your current skills, check out the links in the description for both motel management and GuestPoint property management system training courses. If you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments section below and we'll be happy to go through them with you. Thanks again.